so much I can do and offer. That
Yeah.
was that was such a great experience. I think like having pure intent is pure power. It's like that's there's like a selfless part of this journey. Like I've dedicated myself to my path, like
Yeah,
fully.
I mean, selfless maybe to somebody who thinks they're a physical body. We're not a physical body. Everything is one energetic system. Everything is one better. If I help you, Robin, if I do something for you, I'm doing it for myself because at the end of the day, we're connected in some way or another. And the same applies to everybody else. We're interconnected. And there's a fine, I mean, we got to find a balance between ego, and we need it in order to survive as well. But also we have to understand that we're also living for a higher self, a higher purpose, a higher intelligence, if that makes sense. So it's a fine line. I live for myself 80% and 20% for others. That's the ratio that works for me right now. Who knows when I'm like, and I'm at a certain phase of my life where that makes sense because I still have to fulfill my potential and build myself up and all that stuff, right? But at one point, maybe it's going to flip completely where I'm living 80% for other people and 20% for myself. But I'm like, I don't know, 80 years old or something like that when I've done my things and you know, like you can see that a lot with philanthropy. Who does philanthropy? The people that are done with their stuff, they're now in the phase of their lives where they want to give back. And I really think that's a natural progression of things. So right now, yeah, I'm still in my prime. I'm only entering my prime. I still got a good 20 years of full energy, prime productivity, and I'm still gonna have to live for myself for the most part. But then who knows? Maybe I'm just gonna do trainings for free, magical trainings for free after I taught my kids to be badass magicians or whatever.
Well, I completely agree with you, but what I meant by that is like that analogy of like, if an airplane has turbulence, who's going to put the oxygen mask on first? Like, are you going to put it on your child or are you going to put it on you? Well, you need to be, your cup needs to be full first. You need to be able to give from like overflow and abundance. So I know for myself, like I'm all about me right now because in return, the power that I wield from that is going to be what I use to like propel my path and give back and help. I'll have a greater influence. But that means right now it's focused, like I'm in my universe.
Sure.
That's what I meant by it. It's just like I didn't mean like selfless, like we just have to give, but it's like kind of like you marry your path. Like I'm dedicated to my vision and I will do whatever it takes because I know that's where like I'm going. I know that it's going to have this massive ripple effect. I'm going to create massive change in this world. And I'm going to give my life to that path and do what I have to do. Sort of like you discipline yourself, you meditate, you show up, you're really like learning in so many different ways all of the time. A lot of people don't want to give up football, hockey, these different things that like they wouldn't want to like exchange the hobby for their passion because that creates risk.
We all go through different developmental stages, and it's not necessarily that one person is better than the other because somebody's at a different developmental stage, and that's a
Yep.
little different from Maslow's hierarchy, but I think Maslow's hierarchy makes a lot of sense. You can only start thinking about your purpose when you're beyond like the base needs of everything. Are you familiar with Maslow's hierarchy? I'm sure
Yes.
you are, right?
Yeah.
So even though I sound super judgmental, I get that. Okay, I understand how I sound when I talk about people and how they're all little bitches and all that stuff. Okay, I know that I come across as very judgmental, which I might be, but also I just try to make good points and communicate in a clear way. So at the end of the day, I understand that everybody is where they're at and they're making the best decisions from the level of consciousness that they're at. And it's not necessarily better or worse. I'm I'm learning in certain processes that I'm doing in my other life, in my business life. I'm learning a process from a 54-year-old guy who's been in that business for more than 30 years. And at the same time, I'm training a guy who's 21. So I'm kind of like in the middle, in the one situation, I'm the authority, I know fucking everything, I'm the man, I'm the boss, and I see the same nervousness in him that I sometimes feel in regards to that other guy, you see? And it's like, because like when you're confronted with somebody who knows way more about something and is way better at it, and then like big tasks to you seem like a little joke to him, you know, that could trigger insecurity. But it's good for you if you see that, what's the word, you got to see everything in relative terms, you know. At one point I'm going to be like that other guy, the 54-year-old guy, and but the point is, we're all where we're at, and we're making the best decisions from the level of consciousness that we're at. And it's not necessarily about judging people, it's more about, you know, okay, this is where the person's at, they're doing their best with what they can. Me personally, from a higher level, I look like a joke, and I'm completely aware of that, but I'm making the best decisions from whatever place I'm at right now, you see. Now, that might be surprising to hear from the Bronze Dawn, right? A guy that seems to see himself as the epitome of mastery in all areas of life, right? Now, but I mean, confidence itself is a force that brings things into reality, you see. So I think I explained that before. You should never self-deprecate, or you should never put yourself down, because any thought that is in any way, shape, or form weakening you is going to have a negative effect around you. Okay, so how do you stay balanced and grounded in reality with absolutely unwavering self-confidence? How do you make that happen? Well, you take on a growth mindset. You take on a growth mindset. Most people have a fixed mindset where they believe they've been born with all the skills and knowledge that they will ever acquire. And when they see somebody doing better than them, they now have two choices. Either they accept that they're inferior to the person, or they try to take them down. Bring them down in some way or another, too, because it's super painful to feel that somebody else is doing better than you, if you think that that's your limitation. Other people have a growth mindset, and they get interested when they see somebody doing better, when they observe somebody being really good at something that they want to master. They feel deep down potentially that they could get at that level, and they move themselves through this temporary discomfort of not being good at what they're doing, in order to realize their potential. And as long as you're driven by this feeling of, I will be the man, I will be the woman, I will be the fucking whatever. As long as you have the growth mindset, it's not a problem if somebody else is temporarily better at something. And you're happy, fuck, yeah, this is what I've been looking for. Thank you that you're teaching me that, you know? And that's really what you need. So I think that's what it is. I mean, the self-confidence that you need, in my opinion, genuine self-confidence, is not believing that you already know everything, but believing in your ability to figure things out in the moment, and to step into the unknown, even though there's uncertainty there. You know that you're going to be fine, you're going to be safe, because you trust your abilities to adapt.